My dear parents, board of trustees, principals of various colleges, teachers, we are all going through unexpected period, which we never dreamt of, which we never thought of. And the theme that we have taken for this evening's meditation or thought is growing out of COVID-19. What does it actually mean? Let me do a screen sharing also so that when I talk, you can also, maybe we can also see whatever I'm going to speak. So the theme that we have taken is growing out of COVID. You can see a small plant growing out. And there's a dynamism happening there. The roots of this little plant going down and the stem and the leaves going up. Very often we do not see that activity that happens under the earth. We see only what's happening above the earth, forgetting that the tree has been growing deep down. My dear parents, keep this picture in your mind, or all of us should keep this picture in our mind. Doesn't matter whether it's a COVID or some other difficulty that we face. If I should grow out, I should grow within first. My roots should go deep down. And even during this COVID, if in the past years I've been growing, letting my roots grow down, definitely I will find some way to come out of this COVID. So, and you can also see, growing out of COVID, a parent can, okay? A parent, P-A-R-E-N-T, being Parents' National Day, I thought we'll see how we can come out of this COVID or grow out of COVID, becoming a parent, P-A-R-E-N-T. So before I proceed, let me thank all those who are joined me this evening to listen to me. And as a result of this, maybe 45 minutes or 1 hour of a session together, let's all come out of this pandemic, which has affected everywhere. It's a new world, and the new world with the new rules. All the rules have changed now. See, all the rules have changed. Suddenly, COVID came, and every rule has changed. We had a lot of freedom to go out wherever we wanted, and the rules have changed. You could shake hand, you could hug each other, but the rules have changed. You could go into any restaurant previously, but now the rules have changed. There's a restriction everywhere. And COVID has divided before and after. I don't want to mention all this because it's already messy. And we have to be prepared physically, mentally, emotionally, professionally, in every way, all right? So it's not just a single route preparation to come out of this COVID. The preparation has to be everywhere, physically, mentally, every aspect. We have to be ready to come out of this COVID situation. And we'll see one by one. Maybe perhaps you have heard this story, but just this is a story of a Persian king. Once he called his wise men and asked for a quote. And he asked his wise men, tell me something which will make me happy when I am sad, and which will make me sad when I am happy. All right? And the wise man immediately gave him the reply. So there is only one thing that I want to tell you, which will make you happy when you are sad and remind you not to be over happy, because happiness will not last long. The wise man told the king, or wise man wrote on a paper and gave him, this too shall come to pass. This happiness will come to pass. This sad moment also will come to pass. My dear parents and teachers who are listening to me, let's also be convinced of what the wise man told the king. This too shall come to pass. Why this too shall come to pass? Because many such pandemics, difficulties have come in the past, but they passed, they did not remain. We have successfully come out of everything. And you know what the king did? The king ordered for a ring on which this too shall come to pass to be inscribed. So the king ordered for a ring, and the king wore this ring on his hand. This too shall come to pass. So, my dear parents, I know that all of us are going through this pandemic trouble. And every day I should tell my mind, this too shall come to pass. This too shall come to pass. Okay? We should tell our children, no difficulty remains forever. This too shall come to pass. And this should become a mantra. This should become a prayer in our mind. This too shall come to pass. So what does this actually mean? Means to be in the present. Okay. Very often when such pandemics come, what happens? We look into the past. Before the pandemic, you know, what a happy life I had. Okay? I could go out, I had good job, I had good salary, my business was going on very well. But now the pandemic happened, I don't know what the future is going to be. Very often we tie our feet on what we call past and the future, and we forget to make use of the power of the now. So we should make use of this pandemic time to realize the power each one has in the now. If I continue to grieve over what I have lost because of the pandemic, will continue to grieve. See, I know that in some places, suppose if you have had a loss of job, I know every day there will be a lot of discussions going on at home about the lost job, the lost salary, the lost facilities. What will happen? You get tied down deeper and deeper into difficulty. And also such, when we look too much into the past miseries, we also predict the future to have miseries too. So my dear parents and teachers, let's become aware of the power of the now, the power of the now. There are 5 types of people when such situations happen. And when you listen to the different types of people, you should ask yourself, to which category do you belong to? Maybe after the pandemic, after the lockdown, after the COVID. There are some people, when such situations happen, there are some people who freeze in front of such difficult situations, okay? I simply freeze. I cannot move. All my energy is lost. See, perhaps you know such people, okay? They were so energetic people and now they cannot move. Frozen people, mind is frozen. No thought comes out. So, do you freeze in front of problems? There are some other people who fall. They become unconscious, maybe for a few days, for a few weeks, and you know, slowly they gain conscious. They gain back their consciousness. Okay. So when the pandemic hit, did you have a fall? Maybe for a few days, for a few weeks, and you know, slowly you got up and you began to act. Okay. Or there are some people when such things happen, they flee, they run and escape, okay? Whenever there is a difficulty, the first thing they think is, how can I run and escape? Run away from this place. Run away from this, okay? See, run away from a difficult situation. And there are some other people who fight, okay? Doesn't matter COVID or whatever pandemic, I will stand here and I will fight. And what happens when you fight? You get wounded, okay? And the 5th is facing, my dear parents. All of us are facing this demon called COVID. And we should learn to face, okay? We should learn to face. Teachers, we should learn to face because you have those students waiting for you. Parents, we should learn to face because you are a professional. You have been working. You have been a business person doing excellent business, and you had a lot of expectations for 2020. By the end of 2020, you had a lot of expectations how to expand your business. And the COVID, the pandemic, let's face. Instead of freezing, instead of falling unconscious, instead of fleeing away from the difficult situations, instead of fighting and getting wounded, let's learn to face, okay? And do the right thing, whatever we can do now. I'm sure that the principal and the board of trustees have called the parents because they felt they should do something to support the parents. This is doing the right thing now. Maybe this particular evening can give a bit of inspiration, a bit of insight, a bit of confidence, a bit of thinking in a different way. This is called doing the right thing. And I'm sure that, and I had the fortune of talking to the teachers maybe 2 months ago. See, your school, I very often feel you're a pioneer in many things, okay? See, I participated in a program in which you did the award ceremony and the installation of the leaders, which I never expected. Doing it all online, okay? And the dance and the music and celebrations, fantastic. And after that, I heard you started without any delay, you started the online teaching and the students started learning online. The teachers did all the arrangements and the board of trustees supported the teachers. You were a pioneer. And I also know that you did a number of training programs for teachers and the students to empower them during the COVID period. This is called doing the right thing. And today, when you came to know, when maybe Principal Dr. Birman came to know that today was the National Parents' Day, immediately the thought came to him. And the Board of Trustees, they immediately thought, what can we do to support the parents of our school? This is called doing the right thing now, all right? To come out of this pandemic together. Please remember this quotation. What brought you here want to take you there, okay? What brought you here won't take you there. What does it mean? Maybe you reach a particular spot by a car, very costly car, okay? But this car has brought you to the seashore. And if you want to cross the sea, you cannot do it in the car, however costly the car may be. You need a different vehicle, different skills, different technology, different mindset to cross the sea. So what brought you here won't take you there because the COVID pandemic is a rough sea. So parents and teachers and board of trustees, we should put our heads together because what brought us till the COVID pandemic will not help us cross the rough sea. So such a seminars are much needed today for parents, for teachers, for students, for everyone, okay? In fact, today, this is a third major seminar that I'm doing today, okay? I started in the morning, okay? In the morning, it was for a group of teachers, 100 teachers. And again, in the evening, I was doing a program for happiness skills, okay? Again, to help out people to come out of the COVID blues, okay? A lot of people are going through depression these days, all right? Yeah, I read in the newspaper some 66 people committed suicide in India, all right? In India or Kerala, I don't know, in India, okay? Maybe there are no numbers. So I'm conducting a training program for people now. It's called Happiness Skills to Beat the COVID Blues, okay? It's a 3-day program. So we should do something because what brought us here will not take us across. We need something different. So we are going to see parent, P-A-R-E-N-T. So what are those things that we need? I'm going to expand each letter, okay? P-A-R-E-N-T, all right? So at last we'll get parent, all right? So being Parents' Day, the question, am I a parent that I'm going to see from now? So parent, the first letter P to come out of this COVID pandemic, P. Perhaps you can guess what this means. The parent P, the first letter stands for being positive, okay? When something goes wrong, the usual tendency of everyone is to become negative, okay? Immediately, you have a feeling, my God, all my plans, oh, now what will I do? Things are not happening according to my wish. This is not what I wanted. See? So, parent, the first letter to beat this COVID blues, the question, are you positive? Is the balance, look at the balance, okay? When you see things, usually, do you look at this glass and do you see half filled glass or half empty glass? What's your attitude usually? Look at the screen, and if I ask you, what do you see? What do you see? What will be your answer? If some of you can use the chat box, I'll be happy, okay, for this, okay? What do you see now on the screen? What do you see? Can Susan ma'am help me out? I don't know. I think I can see this. I can see the chat box. What do you see? Dot, dot, black dot, black dot, black dot, so many black dots. Okay. That's a black dot. Okay. There's somebody said, okay, that's good. Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you. I can see. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So see, this one has written a white sheet, a white board. Many have written the black spot. There's nothing wrong in seeing the black spot, okay? The usual tendency is to see the black spot, even though that black spot is on a large white screen, all right? So natural tendency for everyone to focus on the negatives. Let's refocus now. See, from the black spot, which is comparatively very small compared to the white background, let's focus on the white background now. Even during this COVID, okay? COVID can teach us many lessons. See? Why don't we look at COVID in that way? So the teachers who have been teaching the students, see? All of us did a lot of experiments, see? Maybe we never taught the students using, let's say, Zoom or some other platform. I also used the Zoom for the first time, see? Learned how to use Zoom, see? And business people, if you are doing business, maybe you started doing business in a completely different way. Maybe some of you never worked from home. Home was for you to be with your wife and children and have your food and sleep and play. But what happened because of this COVID? Your home became an office. So let's look at the white spot instead of the natural tendency to look at the black spot. So being positive is the learning to or training to look at the white spot, white area, instead of the natural tendency to look at the black spot. And the plane and the truck, just to get a picture of the positive attitude and the negative attitude, okay? There's a plane and the truck. When we go to the airport, we see the plane and we also see the truck waiting there, okay? Both are somewhat the same. They both rest on the runway. Similarity, a lot of similarities. And there is a pilot for the flight and the driver for the truck, okay? And both move on tires. The aeroplane, there's a tire. For the truck, there is a tire. And both same. It starts. But the difference is they begin to move, the truck begins to move, the plane also begins to move on the road. But after a few minutes, what the truck cannot do, the plane does. My parents and teachers, this is the difference of a person with a positive attitude. See, Maybe for a few days, all of us were on the road like the truck because we were all puzzled. We were all confused. But a few of us, what happened? And your school is the best example. And I should congratulate all the principals and the board of trustees. You see, you didn't wait. You didn't decide to run. You didn't decide, first of all, to be stalled on the runway, okay? You didn't. Maybe there was an initial confusion. Immediately you said, let's move on. And you moved on the road for a few days, maybe perhaps, okay? And immediately you said, we can move up in the sky. And the truck will continue to move on the road. So ask yourself, are you flying up? To fly up in the sky, the pilots learn a lesson called the nose up flying. And the pilots also learn another lesson called the nose down flying. Okay, there are two switches. One is to help the plane go up, while the second one is to help the pilot for the landing. And these two, the pilots use the buttons. There are some people who permanently use the nose down button in their life, okay? They're waiting for something negative to happen, see? Yeah. I've been waiting for something and the COVID came. And I can put all the blame on COVID now, okay? Suppose, all right? So all those who are listening to me, let's leave the negative, the nose down button. Doesn't matter what COVID is doing and what COVID will be doing maybe the next few months, but let's learn to press the nose up button, okay? And yourself, empower yourself. Have this feeling, I can. There are two types of people, and you should ask yourself, what kind of person are you? The impossibility thinker and the possibility thinker, see? There are some people who always think of impossibilities. I can never come out of this. My business will never improve. Customers will never come back to me. See, no. Doesn't matter what the situation is. Are you a possibility thinker with positive mental attitude? And if you're a possibility thinker, you have that piece of rubber, all right? You have that piece of rubber. You know how to rub away that I am, and you know how to make it possible. Anything impossible can be made into possible. And add more to the side, add more to the side, add more to the positive side. And the balance should imbalance to the positive side, okay? So consciously we should make it a bit imbalanced, add more weightage to the positive side from today. I'm telling this because in the news, you switch on the TV, negative news, negative news, negative news. You open the WhatsApp group, negative news, Facebook, negative news, newspaper, negative news. So what should we do as parents and the teachers? We should consciously, let's say, listen to news maybe perhaps once a day only, and try to focus on, try to find out those positive news in spite of many things that are going wrong because of COVID, okay? And we should tell our children also. And please do not have a lot of discussions on the negative impact of COVID because it's doing a lot of damage, okay? Doing a lot of damage. When I discuss negatives without my knowing, it's going to affect the people who are listening to me. So consciously make a shift, move into the positive. And teachers, when you take class, every day communicate with your students. Tell them stories, success stories. See, every country there are success stories during this COVID period. Okay? In India, in Kerala, just yesterday, a parent with a child that had come from Bihar to Kerala, and I think 2.5 years, the baby was bitten by a snake, a very poisonous snake in the night. They were in quarantine. And the child cried, and parents immediately came to know a very dangerous poisonous snake had bitten their only son. And they cried. And because they were in quarantine, the neighbors came and stood outside. Nobody dared to come inside. They were crying for help. Suddenly, a particular young man got into their house and he saw the snake. He killed the snake. Okay. And he grabbed the little baby. He telephoned for an ambulance. He took the baby in his hand and took this little baby to a hospital 45 kilometers away. See? And the baby had to be taken to another hospital for treatment. See? There are a lot of beautiful positive stories. So please focus on those stories which are happening everywhere in the world and make mind positive. So the first part is P, positive. The parent next letter is A. What's A to grow out of COVID? It's adaptability, okay? Are you an adaptable person? Are you an adaptable person or are you a rigid person? Adaptable means flexible. The more flexible you are, the more solutions you get, okay? Suppose maybe after the pandemic, maybe in your business, in your profession, whatever maybe you are doing, if you're stuck, you should ask this question. Did you think with flexibility to come out of this difficult situation? Okay. The usual thinking will not help you to come out of this. Adaptable, flexible. Maybe, I do not know whether you read it in the newspaper. Let me give one or two examples from India, Kerala again. Two general managers who are working in 5-star hotels. Remember, they are general managers in 5-star hotels, okay? And due to this COVID pandemic, they lost their job. And you perhaps saw them in the TV or read about them in the newspaper. And what did they do? They started selling fish on the roadside, okay? In executive dress. Pants and shoes and tie. And what happened? These two gentlemen standing on the side of the road selling fish. Everybody came to know about that, okay? And they are doing excellent business now. See? This is called adaptable thinking. I'm not saying that everybody should go for selling fish, okay? I'm just giving an example only, okay? So flexibility. So don't worry about this, okay? Leave it, okay? So during this COVID pandemic, the new situation, did you adapt? Ask this question. Did you adapt? As mothers, you had to adapt a lot, okay? As a father of the family, you had to adapt a lot. As a business person, there are 5 questions which I'll just read out. I won't spend much time, and this is just to check whether you are adaptable or not, okay? So do you read about new trends in your area of expertise or profession? Okay, yes, no, question mark. If it's yes, do you read a lot about your profession, how to do your profession better, okay? Do you get a yes answer or the answer no, or I don't know whether yes or no means a question mark. Just check it, okay? Do you purposefully listen to people outside your profession to know emerging trends? The trends is missing there. So, do you listen to talks? If you are a teacher, not just about teaching, maybe about doctors, about engineers, about politicians, people belonging to other professions, how they manage change. Do you do that? Are you building a creative and critical thinking skills through self-directed or other training? Especially to meet such difficult situations, we need to develop the creative and the critical thinking skills, okay? Do you undergo training for these? Yes, no, question mark. Are you consistently adding new skills to enhance your ability to be better, okay? Do you, on a regular basis, maybe even as a parent, doesn't matter what profession you are into, do you add skills to improve your ability to be better? Are you experimenting with your career by testing new interests in different ways within and outside your area of expertise, okay? Are you an experimenting person, okay, in short? So there are 5 questions. If you could get yes for all these 5, means you are excellent in adaptability, okay? That means I'm sure you are growing out of COVID. No COVID can beat you, all right? But out of these 5 questions, maybe you got, you are not sure, you are question mark for maybe 2 or 3. That means, maybe you are suffering because you need to be more adaptable. Remember, my dear teachers and parents, if there is a problem, there is a solution, okay? But the solution may not be with me right now. I need to be flexible in thinking, flexible in searching for solutions. So, is there a problem? There is a solution, okay? Yes. Everything that we are enjoying now, okay, it's invented or done by somebody who was flexible. So any problem, there is a solution, okay? So adapt solutions. So please remember these two things. Problem and outcome means a solution, okay? I'll tell you what the frame is. Imagine in your room, there are two windows, okay? The first window is called the problem window. And the person without adaptability, he remains only at the problem window and he looks at things through this window only, okay? Maybe in the place where you work, maybe even at home, there are some people who are specialized at looking at problems only, all right? Yeah. They point out problems one after the other, see? Okay? And remember, there is a window. Perhaps you have not discovered it. There is another window. It's called the solution window or the outcome window, all right? And a person with the flexibility will immediately shift, okay? If there is a problem, he will immediately look out through the solution window. And your school is an example for that. Your board of trustees, see? You're looking out, see? How to beat this COVID pandemic, see? How to support the teachers, how to support the students, now how to support the parents. This is becoming flexible, adaptable to the changing situations. So A is for adaptability. And if you are without adaptability, I told you, you will remain in the problem. Now the COVID, the pandemic started in the month of February. If you do not adapt, you will remain in the problem. Every day you will ask the same question. What went wrong? Who is responsible? China is responsible. Wuhan. That these so many negative. Okay? Yes. And you'll keep on narrating all your sufferings one after the other. So you should ask this question. Every day do you have these things in your mind? Now, when you move from problem to the outcome or solution, you become flexible. How can I accomplish my goals in quick? See, doesn't matter whether it's COVID pandemic or not, okay. I have goals, financial goals, see. Without money, we cannot live. I have my professional goals. If you're doing business, you have your business goals. How can I accomplish my goals in spite of pandemic? What must I do today, the coming days? And who are the people I must approach for help, okay? What different approach can I try to get there? So, be a person of adaptability, PA. So, ask yourself, P, positive, A, adaptable. And to become adaptable, there's just one more technique. Open up. Stop asking close to narrowing questions can limit your options, okay? Instead, this is a beautiful technique. Try opening up your approach. Ask yourself, what is most interesting, surprising to me about the situation? See, this COVID, put this, during this COVID, what are the things that has really surprised me? What surprise can I have, okay, as an achievement during this COVID? See? And read about the achievements of people during the COVID consciously from today, all right? All of us. So, there's a story. Why flexibility? There was a wise man and his disciple. The wise man and his disciple in a faraway land, they went on a journey. They walked and they reached a remote village and they saw a very small hut, no trees anywhere around. And they wanted to drink some water and they approached the the house, and they found a man, his wife, and three little boys, all famished and hungry. And the master, the wise man, asked for some water, which they didn't have. And the wise man asked him, how do you live here? I don't see any tree here. I don't see any crop here. And your house is in a very famished condition. And the father of the family said, sir, we somehow managed to live because of that cow. And the wise man looked and he saw a very famished cow, very lean, hungry looking cow, okay? And this cow gives us a bit of milk. And, we have this milk and we drink milk and we churn and we get some butter, and I take this butter to the city and I sell it. And this is how we survive. And the wise man and the disciple, they kept on walking. After walking for maybe half a kilometer, the wise man told his disciple, you go back, okay? You go back. And without the owner of the house seeing, you should take this cow and push it down the mountain, the gorge, let it die. And the disciple didn't know what the master was telling. And the disciple went slowly without the father of the family, they seeing them, he stole the cow, took it to a gorge and pushed it out, and the cow got killed. And the disciple was so sad. Why? What a cruel master is this, killing the only source of their income. And the wise man said, don't worry, you come with me, okay? And they went on. And this started, making the disciple feel very bad. 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 years. And, he wanted to know what might have happened to that poor family, maybe after 4 or 5 years. And without the wise man knowing, he visited this place once again. And he was searching for that small little house, which was not there. And he was surprised what had happened to the small little house. Instead, he found the whole area with a lot of trees, and he saw there a beautiful newly built house. He approached, he rang the calling bell, and the father of the family, a very healthy person and well-dressed wife, and 3 young boys came out of the house and asked him, weren't you those same people who lived in that small, poor little hut? And they said, yes. How did you become so rich? And he said, sir, we had that cow. We depended completely on that cow. We don't know what happened. That cow disappeared one day and we found it dead. And we had nothing else to live. And when we had nothing else to live, we started thinking, what else can we do? Together with my wife and my children, we found out a way to come out of this difficult situation. We found out our qualities, our abilities, our strengths, and we tilled the land. We brought water from faraway place, and we brought seeds, and we started getting a lot of money, and now we are very rich. We are very rich because that cow got killed. My dear parents, teachers, there is a cow which can make us all get into what we call the comfort zone, okay? And let this COVID be the time when we all look into ourselves. Let's all find out the qualities that we have, okay? So let's all kill that cow, which can restrict our progress. And the R stands for resilience. Resilience is the quality of a rubber band, okay? You stretch a rubber band, you leave the pressure, it comes back. The COVID has stretched us all a lot. It has given every one of us a lot of pressure, okay? My dear parents, look at this picture. It has come out, okay? The shoot has come out. Every parent listening to me should keep this picture in mind. No COVID can keep us under for a long time. I have this ability called a resilience, ability to come back, okay? I am coming back. I am coming back to my previous position. Doesn't matter how hard pressed I am. And uh, you have heard the story of a farmer who owned a mule. It was an old mule, and the mule fell into the old well. It's a story which you have heard, okay? Just rush through, okay? And the farmer, what did he do? He thought, anyway, the mule is very old. Let it die in the well. And what did he do? He started putting sand and mud into the well to bury the old mule. And what did the mule do? The mule was surprised in the beginning. What's falling on my body, okay? And the mule just, and more and more earth, sand coming on my body. The mule suddenly got up from the well, and more dirt was falling on its body. It shook the dirt out, and as the farmer kept on putting dirt, mud into the well, the mule, it started getting over the dirt, and at last it jumped out of the well, okay? My dear parents, the COVID is throwing a lot of mud into our life, into a profession, into a financial condition. But like that mule, we should come out. We should come out. We should come out triumphantly. We should come out. So be prepared to jump out of the well. Jump out of the well. And E is for emotionally intelligent. So P-A-R-E, okay? So P was for positive. Hope you remember positive, okay? How to become, let me just revise for a few seconds. Please do not focus on the negative news. Do not watch TV for a long time. Do not read all those negative news regarding WhatsApp group and all those things, okay? Even your discussion should be positive. And A was be adaptable. Change the window from the problem window to the solution window. And are resilient, because it's giving us a lot of pressure. Please be sure you will come out. And E is for emotionally intelligent. Especially when such things happen, we all become emotionally very bad, okay? So emotionally intelligent person, even during this, when I did a training program for your teachers, I had taken the theme emotional intelligence. I'm not going into all the details, but parents, we should be emotionally intelligent. We are going to see the major emotions now. And has this pandemic called COVID, has it made us negative in managing our emotions? I'm going to just go through the 5 major emotions. And as you see this emotion one by one, you should ask this question: am I using these emotions positively to help myself, to help my family, to help my business people, to help whoever I talk to every day in my life? Love. This is a beautiful emotion, but very many people do not know how to make use of the emotion love properly. There are people who are very much restricted in love. They can love only maybe 1 or 2 people. Restricted love is called umbrella love, which is negative, okay? I can love my wife and my children only, finish. This is not positive. There are some people exclusive. I can include maybe somewhat because I'm interested in, let's say, cricket. Therefore, I love only those people who love cricket, okay? Or I love mathematics, and I love those people who love mathematics. Or I'm a dog lover, and I love those people who love dogs. Okay, so are you such a person of exclusive love, which is again negative? And there are parents, teachers, all of us with conditional love. Okay, conditional love. If you score this mark, I will love you. Okay, yeah. If you cook good food, I will love you. If you give me money, I will love you. All right? Are you a person of conditional love, which is again negative? There are people with unexpressed love. There is love, but it's inside, okay? Not able to express. There is love inside. Very often, no, there are people who complain. I never get the love of my husband, love of my father, okay? And you call this husband and ask, why don't you love? My God, I love my wife, I love my children. But they don't feel. Why? Because it's unexpressed love, which is again negative, okay? And positive love is called unconditional love, which is expressed, okay? So I don't want to spend much time just to go through the emotions only. Okay. So if you're an emotionally balanced person, you know how to love everyone unconditionally. So how do you express love? The second emotion is anger. Okay. Anger. Think of maybe a recent time you got angry. All right. Maybe yesterday, maybe today. All right. Maybe this pandemic could make you more angry. All right. So what's anger? Anger can be destructive anger. So you get angry and you break the window, you throw stones, you take a knife and cut your nerve. Okay. So do you express such kind of anger? And is your anger constructive? What's constructive anger? You get angry, and as the result of your anger, positive things happen. Okay. See, you get angry, and because you get angry, a lot of positive discussions take place, and because of the positive discussions and interactions, a lot of positive results also happen. And there is what we call the constructive anger. Okay. If your anger does and results in something good, it's constructive anger. Fear. See, when the COVID brought down this pandemic, this lockdown, many people were under fear, too much, shocked, okay? And you read such stories. People who come from outside, they are seen as enemies. See, they are, they are, they are not welcome. See, they cannot come into their own house. Why? Because of fear. Do you shut yourself because of fear? Too much of fear, dangerous, negative. Doesn't matter whether it's COVID or not, okay? And if there's no fear, you are cautionless, okay? So you need fear. Suppose you have no fear at all, COVID, and you roam around here and there, without mask and without keeping social distancing, and you say, I have no fear. That's something very, very bad and negative, dangerous. Positive fear makes you cautious. So, my dear parents or teachers, this COVID period, ask yourself, do you have positive fear? Okay. When you have positive fear, it makes you cautious. Maybe doing a business, spending money, dealing with people, visiting people. Okay. So many things. So we all need fear, but is it positive? Sorrow. Okay. Sorrow develops into depression. Now, more people get killed with this disease called depression than by cancer. All right? Yes. Diabetes. Then comes depression. All right? Yes. More people get killed because sorrow develops into depression. At the same time, remember, we all have this beautiful emotion called sorrow, and sorrow is called the mother of all emotions. And it becomes negative when it destroys you. It becomes positive when your sorrow purifies you into a better person, okay? When you see somebody crying, somebody weeping, somebody is suffering, and if you cry, that sorrow purifies you, all right? Yes. Because something went wrong, somebody lost his job, or salary is cut down, and it makes him feel sorrowful, and sorrow. Slips into depression, and it can maybe even make the fellow commit suicide. And in India, in Kerala, every day this is happening now. Okay, and I congratulate the board of trustees for giving this seminar to the parents. My dear parents, sorrow should purify us. Okay, yes. You shouldn't feel so sorry about the miseries that you alone face. Every day, think of the people who suffer due to war. Okay? They have nothing to eat. And let that sorrow purify you. Don't think too much about the pandemic that is making you lose some of your money, maybe some of your profession and all those things. Okay? So let's so. And joy. So in spite of the COVID, we should celebrate. I request every parent, everybody listening to me, please express joy for all the good things that you have enjoyed till today, okay? Express joy. So I'm coming to the end of my small talk. So the emotions, joy, and parent, the next letter is N. To come out of any difficulty, N, we need networking, okay? Doesn't matter whether it's COVID or not. Are you a person who can do networking naturally? What's networking? Networking is the ability to relate, to connect with other people, okay? Do you naturally connect with other people, family members, in your profession, in the society? See, who are the people who suffer? People who do not connect, okay? They go to their office, sit by themselves, no connection at all, do their job, come back, no connection with family members, with friends, people in the society. Learn to connect, learn to connect. If there's anyone who doesn't connect with people, please make a list of people today itself, okay? Make a telephone call and call your past friends. Maybe the teachers who taught you in the past, some business partners who were with you in the past, somebody who supported you. Maybe some of your relatives who we have not contacted for the past many months, many years now. Get connected, network. Because this will help you. They can give you suggestions how to improve. See, that's the reason. See, that's the reason. See, they can give you some suggestion. Suppose you are not finding it, your business is not going on well. Maybe when you get connected with other people, they can give you a suggestion. Why don't you think of doing this? In fact, after the COVID, I have helped many people to get into new jobs. Yeah. Every day, I'm helping people, children, students, professionals, every day. Why? Because they know how to network. Okay, so learn to network, and something to because it's a parents. Let's also think of our children. Okay, we are doing a training program. This is also helped people during this COVID. What we are doing a program for teenagers called Happy Teens. One program got over day before yesterday. Some students from your school also were participants in the program. So it's a 4-day program, 1.5 hours each. One program got over day before yesterday, okay? And we have a next program, I think from the 1st of August onwards, okay? And I did a survey with the students, or only teenagers. I asked them, what do you hate? What do you don't want parents and teachers to do towards you? Okay? Parents, I'm sharing some of those things with you now. Okay? So when we connect with children hate, number one, comparison. Okay? Number one is comparison. They hate comparing one child with the other child. Number one is comparison. See? Your elder son with the second one. Your daughter with your sister's daughter. Okay? Your son with your neighbor's son. This is number one. Number two, competition. Every day telling your child to compete and defeat other students in the class. Beat. No. Okay? Do not tell them to compete with somebody else and defeat them. And you may ask me, what else should we tell them? Okay? I'll tell you, okay? Number three, cursing. Sometimes your parents curse. Sometimes your parents curse. Use very abusive language. They really dislike, okay? So hurting. And labeling. What's the labeling? Calling them names like you're stupid, you're good for nothing, okay? Dash. So these are some of the things children really hate. So being the Parents' Day, Let's also find out what the children hate, okay? Instead, how to deal with them. Instead of comparing the qualities of your children with the qualities of others, enable them to find out their own qualities, okay? Help them to discover their own strengths. And tell them you should compete and defeat your yesterday's result, not somebody else's result, okay? Yesterday you scored 40 marks for mathematics. Tomorrow, can you make it 41, okay? You compete and defeat your yesterday's result 40, defeat 40 and make it 41, 42 tomorrow, all right? Yes. So, and instead of cursing, please use positive language. Bless your child every day. Use positive language. Labeling, very, very dangerous. Okay. So when we network with children, please keep these things in your mind. Okay. And the last letter is a T. It's thankful. P-A-R-E-N-T. You might wonder what has this to do with coming out of COVID. Okay. Let me tell you, if you're a thankful person, a person of gratitude, you will come out of any difficulty. Okay? If you are a grateful person, thankful person, you will come out of any COVID. I can narrate and give hundreds of examples. I've been helping people to be thankful for the past 30 years now, mainly past 20 years now. This is one of the major exercises I do with people, okay? Helping people to be thankful. If you're a thankful person, so from today, parents focus on the blessings. See? Count your blessings. Think of all the things that happened to you, good. Think of your father, your mother, the good things they did to you. Whether they are alive or not, that doesn't matter. Today's Parents' Day, no? Let's also think of our parents. My father died some 42 years back when I was just 12. My mother died 2.5 years back. Let me also think of my parents and say thank you to them. All those who are listening to me, fill your mind with gratitude. When you are a small kid, who are those who took care of you? Say thank you. When you are sent to the nursery school, think of those nursery teachers. I know now you are more qualified than those nursery teachers and those LP school teachers. But fill your mind with gratitude for all those beautiful things they did to you. See? Maybe after your graduation and your post-graduation, somebody interviewed you, gave you a job for the first time, a salary for the first time. Say thank you. See? Now you're in Gulf, maybe you're a citizen of Gulf. Maybe it's not possible there for you, know, most of you, okay? You're working there, see? Maybe doing business or teaching, it doesn't matter, see? The country where you live, the rulers, so great rulers, be thankful. The law and order there, the facilities that they provide to you, be thankful. Focus on the blessings, count the blessings, okay? Yes. And even during this, see, this alone will help everyone to come out of this COVID. Okay, yes. So count your blessings one by one. And ask yourself, are you a parent? P-A-R-E-N-T. And I've come to the end. Success of a person, preparedness, 80% of success, okay? So, whatever we have been listening, this can prepare us to face any difficult situation in the future, okay? So, any difficult situation, doesn't matter what the situation is, okay? So we should, I'm not saying that we should always expect such negativities, okay? But Being prepared can help us to come out of any difficult situation.